Welcome in, William. Okay, so William is saying, is God in you or outside of you? William, what we're talking about is the totality of experience. So we're talking about there really being no difference between inside and outside. That the very definition of inside and outside is contingent upon the thought or a thought that splits reality into two. That says this is a tiny me over here, and that is the big phenomenal world. This is the universe over here, and this is this tiny little me. So when we say God is within, that's true, but it's as true as saying God is without. When we split reality into two, in order to have a conversation like this, we can never say the truth because the truth is that oneness. The truth is that God is, and we simply happen to be that. We simply happen to be that. So I'm fine if you say, okay, well, God is within. Absolutely. Absolutely. But we just want to make sure we're keeping track of the nature of infinity itself. That if something is infinite, there is no place for it to not be. You can't have infinity. You can't say God is infinite. Oh, it's everywhere but inside of me. That doesn't make any sense. It's either infinite, which means it is making up every fabric of every cell, of every molecule that constitutes this tiny you, or it is not infinite. And because our conversation on God is always a conversation on infinity, then we can see that from this perspective of infinity, there is no inside or outside. It's just infinity, which means that when we collapse that distinction between outside and inside, the question not only goes away, but so too do all of the fears and all of the predilections that are based on that separate self. All of that goes away. And what you are left with is a unity of experience. You are left with infinity. And you could just say that God is. If you don't like the word God, you would just say that nature is, that love is. However you want to express this, obviously the people of, ancient Kemet, Nubio-Kemetic culture, these people didn't have a word for God, right? God is a sort of a Germanic concept. They didn't have a word for God like that. You know what I'm saying? They had a word for nature. They called it neter, Neter. And nature was the same thing as what we call God. That which organizes, orchestrates, births all things and returns all things to itself. That is God, nature, reality. It must exist both inside and out. Of course, only if we make a concession, only if we allow for the thought to exist that there is an inside and out in the first place. William, I believe that's answering your question. Okay, so William's saying respect. Roger that. Roger that. Okay, let's continue on, folks. Let's continue on.